Good everyone. I hope you guys have an amazing day. So today I have an announcement to make. So that's the reason why I'm making this video. That's I've launched this Identity and Access Management Architect certification. Sorry, and my apologies that it took longer than I anticipated. But right? It normally take longer to make an architect course. In saying so, the certification is not free. I mean, obviously, I charge $35. Now you must be wondering why this guy charges money, right? Obviously, as you've been following along, if you've been following along, you know that I do make most of the certification courses for free. So the reason why, as I explained to you guys before that, I host this, website in the hosting platform, and I do host my content, in a cloud. So obviously, I need to pay for the service, right? Just to cover up that service, I charge for the architect course. That's pretty much it. I don't make any profit from it because my company, right, is mostly a non-profit, right? My main intention to start this company to help people um, to learn Salesforce. That's the most important aspect for me to help someone, get their first job or get them trained on the Salesforce space. That's all I wanted, right? But unfortunately, right, the hosting companies don't give me free service, so I have to pay for the service. So that's the reason why I charge, right? Okay, now about this certification, right? I just wanted to tell you guys one thing, right? I mean, most of the time, people who do not have experience with Salesforce, they go and attempt architecture certification and they end up in failing. And they blame the course or they blame the instructor. Let me be honest with you guys. To appear for the certification, right, you do need to have at least 2 to 3 years experience working as an identity architect. I mean, I'll be very upfront about it, right? Because I personally have a few years experience doing the identity side of things. Like I built Jet Handler, I built, social sign-on using, different vendors. I've used asset token flow. I've used, I built so many login flows, right? So, and I've configured Azure as an IDP. So I've done all of these things as a part of my job. So for me, giving this certification is pretty easy. But in saying so, right, I build the course in such a way when someone wants to go and take the course, the challenges that person faces, the things you should know. So based on that, I build the course, right, so that it will definitely help you with your certification journey, right? Because I don't like to make a course which I don't have experience, which I normally don't get involved into. Like for instance, many have asked me to build a velocity course, but I can't make a velocity course because I don't have experience working in velocity, right? So it will be pointless till I get some hands-on, so that I can give you a better understanding of how the things works in the real world. Okay, so coming to the course content, right? You must be seeing why I mentioned free course, right? A few of the course I've already uh, you know, built in the past. Like for instance, I've done a free identity series which covered most of the stuff, right? So I thought it's pointless to redo the same thing again. I mean, and plus, right, a few of the stuffs I've included the free stuff here. So apart from that, a lot of things is pretty new. You haven't seen it before, and I've also included, the quiz questions. It contains 10 questions. I mean, I have planned to include in the future certification like 20 to 30 questions for your practice, but I really don't want it to replicate what Focus and Force is doing. They're doing a pretty amazing job. So, so that's the reason why I just didn't include much. Okay, and I've included a quick study guide, which will help you guys for sure because it helped me, right? So the quick study guide contains, the few notes, right, which you should be, reading like it's a 30-page refresher document, contains information about single sign-on, single log-out, in delegated authentication, different kinds of flows, right? What's a SAML bearer flow, JWT, asset token flow, device flow, what is embedded logging, what's the lightning login, right? Uh, Language of identity. So all bundled in a small document. So it will be useful for you guys before you go and attempt the certifications. And I would highly encourage you to do so. Yeah, I'm a certified, identity access certification, right? I've said, I've got the certification, right? And I've managed to score, pretty much over 80% in the first try, no problem whatsoever. So I've used all my knowledge of preparing and the things I should know. I mentioned everything in my course, right? So obviously, I believe this will help you guys. But like I said, if you're new to this Salesforce platform, then I will not encourage you to go and take the certification. You will end up in failing it. I mean, I'll be very upfront, right? Most of the people won't tell you that. My certification will only guarantee you success if you put uh, time and effort to learn the platform, right? Just watching my tutorial won't get you certified, right? I'll be very upfront. You have to spend time, you have to read the trailhead, you have to practice things, you have to do your own hands-on, right? Because architect certification is not a straightforward, right? The questions are not straightforward. They will give you a scenario, based on that you have to answer it. So if you have never done hands-on, you will struggle. I mean, I'll be very upfront about it, right? I mean, I rather prefer to be upfront, right? And rather than giving you a false expectation. So, I mean, if you are thinking about, someone who will, give you a course which will give you 100% success, I'm afraid this is not the course, right? You will get success. You will be successful with this course if you put your time and energy to learn this stuff, right? You should be spending at least an hour a day, to preparing for it. And maybe, I spent, even though I have a lot of experience, I would say it took me 3 to 4 months to prepare for it. And all the stuff I prepared, I mentioned it here, right, in a summarized way, so that you can get the benefit out of this course. So if you're interested, you're most welcome to buy it. And if you have any questions or anything you wanted to add, you're most welcome to ask me anytime, right? I'll be preparing for sharing and visibility certification. That's the next one. And also I'm doing Mulsa, right, which is free anyways. But the sharing one won't be free because it's an architect one. Then we're gonna do data architect, which is not free again. Then we're gonna do Heroku. Then we do B2C. So anything to do with architecture won't be free, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, rest, you can ask me to do any other certification. I'll do it for free, right? Okay. So, in saying so, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in today's episode. I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. Adios.